Let's talk about how to explore sustainable energy trends technology. Sustainable technology trends, not energy trends, but I guess everything is energy, so that covers it. To supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And I find myself coming back to the topic of sustainability for a lot of reasons. Primarily, I began my career and my education in engineering. I've always been interested in how things go together, how they work, how we build things, how we make things more efficient and effective. And one of the things that we learn, and we've pretty much done since I started working in manufacturing, is we pay attention to cost savings, and cost savings often come from things that are good for the world and good for the environment and good for the economy, as well as renewable sources of energy, how to eliminate waste. One of my favorite projects when I worked for a big industrial bakery was finding ways to utilize the products that weren't first quality that we wanted to sell to our customers, but that also were perfectly good to consume by human beings or animals. And one of my favorite projects was finding ways to get that out into the world and disseminate it, because it was perishable products. Bakery products are perishable, but how to get those out to people so that they could consume them. We have plenty of hungry people here in the United States. We have plenty of people that need good foods that don't necessarily have the funds to have access to them. So a lot of the work I did with that particular organization was, how do we, number one, reduce the costs of waste so we make sure our processes create as much perfect product, or perfect in that it meets our quality standards, so we can get that out the door and sell it. But the other stuff, what do we do with that? And we did a combination of things. We had product giveaways. We took trucks to places and would give away products because we wanted them to be consumed right away and help other people at the same time. We also did a lot with turning them into other products. For example, pet food and pig food and things like that. We had sold them to an organization that processed them and turned them into animal feed, which was wonderful because at least it wasn't going just to waste and into the landfills and garbage. We had millions of dollars spent on waste removal for that organization, and we chipped that down to under $500,000 a month. I know, crazy numbers, but the bigger the company, the bigger the numbers, right? It's usually the same processes, just bigger numbers or more zeros at the end of it. So if you get comfortable working with a small company, you can work with a big company just as easily. So what the heck do I mean by sustainable technology? Well, it's processes and tools and systems and ideas that are implemented to save resources. Now, remember, in the beginning, it's been around for a long time, my whole lifetime, my whole career. It originally, sustainability focused on pollution control, because there were a lot of big industries polluting our country and our world, and on reducing costs, eliminating, not using resources wisely. There we go. Resource efficiency. That was how the whole sustainability topic began. And it's morphed into a lot of different new technologies and inventions that have made our world a better place by conserving resources, energy efficient appliances. How many of us have energy efficient appliances in our home? Furnaces, water heaters, all of our appliances, washers, dryers, dishwashers, things like that. Refrigerators. How could you forget the refrigerator? Especially in the summer. So that type thing. Different types of batteries and things that have been invented in my lifetime, and different types of power. Solar power, wind power. Have you ever driven through Texas? Last time I checked, they had 18,000 giant wind turbines just in Texas alone. So that's not solar. Did I say wind? Wind towers, wind farms. And then the whole concept of solar energy has come into play in my lifetime as well. It's so fun to drive around or drive somewhere or go on a trip and you see just houses and houses lined with solar panels on their roofs, because we know that they're using alternate energy to make our planet more sustainable, to reduce pollution. We still want to reduce pollution. Now they call it our carbon footprint. We want to make sure we have the smallest possible carbon footprint. I will not share my opinions on climate change and global warming and things like that, because those are pretty much political discussions. They're not founded in anything rational, in my humble opinion. So what are some strategies we can use to explore these technologies and see if there's a fit for our organization, or see how we can use them, or how we might use them in our organization. Well, first off, let's talk, why would we want to do that? Number one, makes the world a better place. Number two, it increases our revenue, in that a lot of times customers will make the the environmentally friendly company their company of choice, because it matches their core beliefs. I don't know about you, but I only work with companies that want to make the world a better place. I used to work with a lot of different people, and over time, I found myself looking for a values match to decide if I am going to spend my limited resources in terms of time and energy helping companies. If they don't want to make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form, then they have to find somebody else. And I just say next. So it impacts our brand reputation. It impacts how other people see us, especially potential clients and clients. It impacts and makes the world a better place by paying attention to the impact we have on all of the stakeholders with respect to our business. And if we're a physical business, that's in our community. Guess what? If we're online, we still have an impact on things. And that's part of why we want to know about our supply chain. We want to know how environmentally friendly, et cetera, that they are. What kind of practices are they using? Are we using sustainable manufacturing processes? When I was growing up in manufacturing and engineering, we've reused a lot of technology to create different things and different types of machines and things, a lot of tools and dies and things, and fast ways of making products and services. But we would usually just use that piece of equipment until it broke and wore out and we couldn't fix it anymore, and then it would just get landfilled. The products that we often produced weren't in recyclable or environmentally friendly packaging. So a lot of unnecessary waste in both the manufacturing process and then the packaging and the delivery of those products and services. And so now we just look at the entire business, not just manufacturing, but the whole business. Where can we find ways to save and money, resources, time, and energy throughout our entire processes, throughout the whole organization? And we do that by doing, first and foremost, if we think we want to look at this, a sustainability audit. I'm a huge audit fan, grew up in the quality function of corporate America, and I studied it in college as well as part of my engineering program. And I love it. It's fascinating to me. Processes, documenting processes, systems, how things work, and then writing it down so we can continually improve those processes. So we've got information as a training tool for the next person that comes into a role in our organization and things like that. What are some examples of organization? Oh, let's talk about the process. So I'm all over the place today. Too many grandchildren visiting, or too much grandchildren time the last couple of days and the rest of this week. So we want to do an audit of our sustainability. What practices do we have in place that are positively contributing to the environment? What do we have that are kind of iffy? And what do we have that we want to stop doing right now and replace it with something else? So we want to do that audit. We want to set clear sustainability goals. First, we do an audit and see where we're at. Then we set some goals to get us where we want to be. So things like, are there places that we can reduce waste? Are there places we can use a different source of energy? Can we reclaim our water that we use in our processes to be more efficient and to conserve resources? Can we find more efficient practices than what we're using? Can we recycle? And are we looking at our supply chain? Are they doing anything in the form of sustainability? And then we also want to make sure that we're training our employees on the importance not only of quality processes and procedures, but of them always being on the lookout for ways to improve, be more efficient, more effective, and to be more sustainable. So what are some companies that are doing this really well? Tesla comes to mind right off the top of my head, primarily because they're using and creating electrical cars, electrical sources of charging those cars that are better and more efficient than anyone else has ever done before. I think the latest Tesla one's like 300 or 1,000 times more powerful and better at charging the electric cars than what they had. I think it's 300, whatever my son was talking about. I don't know that much about it. I do not have an electric car. I do not have a car at all. Precision farming, John Deere has done an incredible job with using that as a way to become known in their industry. Green building materials, the LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environment Certification process for manufacturing and design for, what am I talking about? Not manufacturing, for building construction. A building can be LEED certified now, and people like that, right? I want to rent in a LEED certified building instead of a regular building because I know it's more energy efficient and better for the environment. Therefore, I will be associated with doing things that are better for the environment. Electric vehicles, again, Tesla, and eco-friendly packaging. IKEA is a huge example of that. They have so many creative ways of packaging their products. Also, they've taken away a lot of the expense and the size that would be required if they already had their products and service or products assembled. I don't know if you've ever gotten anything from IKEA, but if you have, you see a picture and then it comes in this little teeny package and you have to put it together yourself. That's all I've got today. I'm definitely discombobulated. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Otherwise, I'd love to know what your company is doing to be more sustainable, to be a sustainable, good citizen of the world. Share in the comments below so we can learn from one another. If you're curious about a sustainability audit, hit me up, and I'll let you know how you can get one of those. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.